In 1897, Oba Ovonramwen Nogbaisi made a decision that governments would spend decades trying to erase. He closed Benin City to a British expedition on the 4th of January 1897. The acting consul, Captain James Phillips, pushed on anyway. Phillips and most of his party were ambushed and found dead. The British Empire answered with a response that looked nothing like justice. By the mid-1890s, the scramble for Africa had been completed on paper. The Royal Niger Company and colonial officials were pressing inland, determined to expand British influence. Benin was no ordinary kingdom. It was one of Africa's greatest civilizations, renowned for its sophisticated governance, thriving trade, and master artisans whose breathtaking ivory carvings and bronze plaques would one day astonish the world. At its heart stood the magnificent royal palace on King's Road, a symbol of a kingdom whose legacy would soon face destruction. In February 1897, Rear Admiral Sir Harry Rawson led what the British called a punitive expedition. On February 18, British forces stormed Benin City. The royal palace was burned to the ground. Homes and sacred sites were destroyed. Thousands of priceless bronzes, ivory carvings, coral regalia, and royal treasures were seized. According to colonial dispatches, more than 2,500 objects were loaded onto ships bound for London and sold to museums, collectors, and dealers across Europe. The British government presented the expedition as a justified act of retaliation. But surviving accounts and later investigations painted a far more troubling picture. Witnesses described systematic looting on a massive scale. Despite the destruction, no senior British officer was ever brought to trial. Oba Ovonramwen was eventually captured and exiled to Calabar later that year. Though he was permitted to return in 1914, his kingdom had been forever changed, and his authority greatly diminished. The stolen artifacts found new homes in the British Museum, private collections, and auction houses across Europe and beyond. For decades, official records described their removal as a legitimate seizure. Museums often called it preservation. But to the descendants of Benin, and to many historians today, it was something else entirely: the theft of a people's cultural identity. More than a century later, the debate continues. Around the world, museums are returning some of the Benin Bronzes, while others still refuse. The question remains as powerful today as it was in 1897. Who has the right to own a nation's history? If these stories of forgotten kingdoms, lost civilizations, and untold history fascinate you, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the History Vault and